A lot of you have written me and asked me to further explore the moon, so I'm going to do that tonight. The very first aspect the moon makes after sunset is what we call the enclitic moon. What it does is it reflects the light of a planet by its aspect. We all know the moon reflects the sunlight as it sojourns across the monthly skies, but it also does planetary reflection as well, not directly, indirectly, and it does so by aspect. So the very first aspect after sunset in the chart, that reflection of the moon creates a deep emotional need to fulfill that planetary energy. So it's Mercury. We need to learn how to speak well or how to execute our thoughts and write well. This is a very important situation to a Mercury moon individual. If it's Mars, then it's anger or forcefulness. If it's Saturn, it's much more reserved. Anyway, each of the moon aspects gives us a new look. At any rate, we're going to take a look at the first aspect of the moon, the deep need to express that energy, and the last aspect of the moon, how it represents the manifestation of that energy. So here you have the moon and its enclitic nature.
An enclitic nature of the moon can be likened to an early astrological custom of the translation and collection of light. This is where the moon picks up the energy pattern from the last planet it was in contact with and transfers that pattern of energy to the next planet it aspects. This is easy to follow because the moon will continue to aspect other planets as it advances every 6 years. Very often, transits will trigger a situation based only on the position of the regressed moon. As a characteristic manifestation of the moon's aspect with Jupiter, we might see this reflection as expecting good things to happen, regardless of any situation. With Mercury, the person may want to talk things through or think things through to a resolution. Saturn may promote a reluctance to see things positively or the need to try to control situations. Many comedians have a prominent Saturn related to Mercury. After all, Saturn is about timing. With Mars, the person may argue, shout to get his point across, may also think that the fist or might makes right has the best attitude. In our example, the moon makes its first aspect to Mercury. The emotional nature becomes mercurial. It's changeable, and it's influenced by the feelings and perception. The need for self-expression is articulated very verbally or through writing. With Jupiter as a last aspect, there is more vitality and fervor. This individual would expect their word to be taken without reservation, actually expect people to react and perform to their every word as if spoken by decree by a queen or a king. Should Saturn be the last planet aspected by the moon, this would be toned down by serious intellectualism, or perhaps even labored. The person might want to have their ideas completed in their mind before even beginning to express them. Another example might be Venus as the first and Jupiter as the last aspect of the moon. With a harmonious sun and or planet placements, we would notice a distinctively warm and friendly individual. These circumstances taken alone would describe someone either with an abundance of charm, a loving, charitable person, or possibly someone with an artistic nature wishing to express it in a global way. With a negative sun or inharmonious planet placements, we might notice an inclination to laziness, conceit, and even perhaps negligence. In either case, the individual would have film star mannerisms, tendency to gain in popularity. So in closing, let's create a rule. The moon's first aspect identifies the most basic emotional urge for satisfying one's self-expression, and it's designated by that planet and its aspect. Planets placed between the first and last aspects represent changes in the lifestyle or experiences during the life. But always keep in mind that the moon's first aspect is the native's imprint, a deep-seated desire for emotional fulfillment. The nature of the planet and its type of aspect will establish this perspective. The very last aspect represents the characteristic manifestation, the expected end result of the person's desires as signified by the planet and its aspect. The lunar mansion, then, is defined as the moon's first and last aspect to the planets or angles made during the 24 hours following sunset before a person's birth. Those aspects indicate the personal emotional needs for fulfillment and the quality of their emotional life. During the lifetime, other aspects will be made by the regress moon, and this represents the conditions and circumstances to which the person feels drawn.